Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Engineer Kim, a registered mechanical engineer and a freelance designer. Last time, I showed you the design of the conveyor with the main parts, the roller guide, the rollers, and of course, the sample load or box. So ngayon naman, we will go deeper into how the system moves by simulating it using motion study. And for this project, I use a 100 RPM motor to drive the rollers. So let's see how it works, and most importantly, let's talk about why motion study is very important in mechanical design. Okay, so first, let's define what is motion study. In Solidworks, a motion study is basically a simulation tool that allows us to visualize and analyze how parts in assembly move when forces, motors, or constraints are applied. So instead of just designing the conveyor and imagining how it would run in real life, SolidWorks Motion Study gives us an actual animation and even analysis of the system's behavior. So this means we can check if the rollers rotate correctly, if the box will move smoothly, or kung meron bang interference or collisions. In simple words, motion study is like a virtual test run of your design before building the real machine. Very helpful siya kasi it saves time, money, and effort during fabrication. Okay, so paano nga ba i-set up yung motion study in SolidWorks? Okay, now let's talk about how I set up the motion study for my roller conveyor. First step, I open my assembly file in SolidWorks. As you can see, I have the roller frame, the rollers, and the sample box on top. Next step, go to the motion study tab at the bottom of the interference. Here you can create a new motion study. Then I selected motion analysis as a type of study. Okay, so why motion analysis? Because this one gives more accurate results compared to basic animation. It considers physical forces, contacts, and even gravity. And after that, I define the motor. For this conveyor, I use a rotary motor applied on the roller shaft. I set it 100 RPM, which means the roller rotates 100 times per minute. This speed is enough to demonstrate how the load moves forward in the conveyor. Then I applied contact sets. This is important because you want the box to interact with the rollers. So without contact, the box would just stay floating. And finally, I set the gravity direction so the box has weight and it presses down on the rollers realistically. And once for all that was set, I click calculate and SolidWorks generated a simulation. Okay? As you can see here, when the motor starts at 100 RPM, the roller rotates and the box slowly moves forward along the conveyor. The beauty of motion study is that you don't just see the movement, you also get quantitative data. For example, you can measure the velocity of the box, the time it takes to travel from the one roller to another, even the forces acting on the contact points. This helps a lot when deciding if your conveyor speed is enough or if you need a stronger motor. So why is motion study important? Now, let's discuss why motion study is important for engineers like us. So number one, validation of design. So before fabricating, so you can already see if the design works or fail. So for example, kung hindi gumagalaw yung box kahit umiikot yung rollers, then maybe you need to adjust the roller spacing or yung surface ng material. Number two, optimization. So with motion study, you can test different motor speed, differently roller diameters, or different angles of inclination. This is why you can optimize efficiency. Then number three, communication. Motion studies are very useful when explaining your design to clients, professors, or teammates. So instead of just showing a static CAD drawing, you show them an actual simulation. So mas madaling maintindihan at mas convincing. And then number four, cost and safety. So by simulating first, you avoid trial and error in real fabrication, which is costly and sometimes unsafe. Okay? Using motion study, nasisigurado ng engineers na smooth ang paggalaw ng products, walang jumps, and tama yung sizing ng motor. Imagine kung nag-build ka ng conveyor tapos sobrang bagal pala ng motor or hindi kaya ng load, sayang ang oras at pera. Pero with motion study, alam mo na agad yung outcome bago ka bumili ng materials. Okay, so that's all for today. So natuto tayo na ang motion study ay hindi lang animation, pero isa siyang powerful tool para ma-validate at ma-optimize yung design natin. Okay, so for this project, we use a 100 RPM motor, applied contacts, and gravity. Ay nakita din natin kung paano umusad yung box realistically. So kung gusto nyo rin mag-improve yung CAD skills nyo, practice nyo yung motion studies. Sobrang useful nito sa actual engineering project. Okay, once again, I'm Engineer Kim. Thank you for watching and God bless everyone. See you on my next design. Bye-bye!